Not everyone in the leadership role is qualified to lead, nor should not everyone with the qualification be trusted. Hi, my name is Donnie Miller. I'm an HR practitioner and certified life coach here in beautiful South Africa. Let me qualify what I'm saying when I say not everyone in a leadership role is qualified to lead. In my experience in business, I have found that certain people that find themselves in leadership role, may that be a business owner, may that be someone in a management role, or may that be someone in a governmental department. They find themselves in management positions because of a qualification that they may have. Now, good on them for having that qualification, because with that qualification, of course, comes a certain skill set and, of course, knowledge and even expertise around a specific subject or area that they are managing. However, very often with that role comes the responsibility of leading people. And I have found that not everyone that has a title manager can necessarily lead or has a heart for people. Now, let's face it, leadership is about people. Leadership is ultimately about people, unless, of course, you are leading mechanical equipment or cattle. Um, but leadership is about people. And we live in a largely democratic world, which means people matters. It's not a dictatorship. When we speak about leadership, we are not talking about a dictatorship. It's not a matter of my way or the highway. I believe common sense must prevail. And for that reason, when someone is placed in a leadership role, that person must have a vision, and that person must clearly and unambiguously share that vision. This is where we are going. A vision is where we are heading towards. Otherwise, what are we doing? We are running around in circles. We are just going about and seeing what happens. I'm stumbling over my words right now, and I'm pausing because I'm reminded of working with directors in an organization that had no vision. All they knew is that they had to make money. Now, making money is a consequence of business at the end of the day. If you're in business and your only focus is to make money, I'm not when you need people, and not when you need skilled people to perform specific roles to get your business to where it needs to be. And particularly if those people that you have hired have responsibilities to clients or customers. Because you, as a leader, with your vision, is going to drive the business and that organization's culture. Very important word, and I will unpack culture a little bit more as my talks continue. But let's focus on vision. So if you, as a business owner, have no vision, what are you doing? Your vision is the roadmap or gives light to the roadmap for the people that works in your business, your staff, your team. Call them whatever you want to, but they are not your slaves. It cannot be in an instance where you are the head of an organization. It cannot be a case of your way or the highway. You are hiring people for a set of skills that they possess, for knowledge that they possess, for perhaps even expertise and experience at large that they bring to the table that enable them to perform the job that you've hired them for. So your vision is what drives them into the right direction. A lot of leaders lack vision, and for that reason, they are not qualified to lead, in my opinion. And this is passion. What you're seeing here is passion. I've been told that my speaking style very often comes across as preachy. I know I grew up in a Pentecostal household. So when we speak and teach, we become very passionate. When we share our opinions, we become very passionate. So that is what you see in me, is that Pentecostal child coming to light. Anyway, I digress. Let's get back to leaders that cannot lead because they lack vision, right? And then another reason why I feel leaders shouldn't lead, or what disqualifies someone in a leadership role from leading, is if they don't have heart. You see, you cannot be in a business or run a business or organization or head a business and organization where people are expected to follow you if you don't have heart. It's not about just you at the head. In fact, it's about everybody else but you. Leadership is not a crown of glory that we wear. Leadership is a responsibility. I think of it as wearing a pair of shoes that's embedded with lead or steel or gold or silver or whatever it is that you choose, what heavy metal you choose to put in your shoes. You walk that path, right? And as you walk as a leader, as you walk, you're leading the way. You're stepping tracks into the ground that you are leading on. And then you have the people behind you that's following, and they are stepping into those tracks that you are leaving for them. That's leadership. It's not a crown of glory, it's a responsibility. And with that responsibility comes accountability. And when I lead, I need to hear the voices of the people that follow. And very often, as I'm leading, the guy with the track shoes and the lamp on my front head, someone else is sitting here next to me on my left with some motivation and encouragement for the people on the back of us. And then there's somebody on my right that has a map that is looking whether I should turn left or right here. That is the role of leadership. It is not an isolated role of dictation. I don't tell you this is what we're doing, and when I take the wrong turn, it's your fault. I take responsibility for leading. Not everybody that has a qualification is qualified to lead. Now, you could have a certificate, you could have a diploma, you could have a undergraduate degree, you could have a postgraduate qualification, you can have a PhD. It does not matter what qualification you have if you do not have heart to drive. If you don't have a set of values that governs you, what business do you have leading? Because ultimately, what people want is they want to follow someone that has a vision, that has a heart, and that is driven by a set of values that includes them, that follows. And that, to me, is what leadership is ultimately about. The only time when these things doesn't matter, when it doesn't come into play, is when we are leading cattle or when we are working with machines. You don't need heart for machines. You need a head. You need to have an outcome that you want. And that is basically it. Leading people requires you to take into consideration everybody that's on it. It's not about popularity at the end of it, it's about trust. They should trust you, and you must be able to trust them. Not my way or the highway. It is, we're in this together. What sort of leadership do you aspire to? What sort of leadership do you look to? I know I am hugely inspired by Nelson Mandela. I have read so many books about him and articles about him and listened to so many stories about him. And who tells wonderful stories about him is none other than his former PA, Zelda Legransi. If you get hold of her books, she tells wonderful, wonderful stories about the man behind the title. And I have heard stories personally about people that worked in close proximity with Nelson Mandela about what kind of person he is. Oprah Winfrey wrote about what kind of person he was. Um, Whitney Houston spoke about what kind of person he was. There's so many people that gave account of what that legend did as a leader. Who inspires you? What kind of leader are you? It's easy to find out who are the poorer leaders or the ineffective leaders. What sort of leadership stands out to you? What kind of leadership works for you? Share your thoughts with me. And also, if you found any value in this video, I want to ask you to please like and share this video, because the more of you that like this video, the more the algorithm will pick up on it, and it will encourage me as well to do more of these sort of videos. So this is my livelihood. This is the work that I do. So if you find value in what it is that I do, I ask you to please like and share. Again, I am Donnie Miller. I'm an HR practitioner and certified life coach here in Beautiful. I love you for watching. Until next time.